Hi guys, AOD Fitness here with our breakdown of 21.3 and 21.4. Okay, so first off, the workout. It's our 3 triplets to begin with. It's part number 1 with our front squats, our toes to bar, and then our thrusters. Then get a minute rest. We then go our front squats, our chest to bar, our thrusters, another minute rest, and finally our front squats, our bar muscle ups, and our thrusters. We then go immediately from the first part of that workout, okay, into the second part, which is 7 minutes to establish a 1 rep max in the complex of a deadlift, a touch and go clean, a hang clean, and then a jerk, okay? Make sure you check CrossFitGames.com for all the actual movement standards and setup, all the things to consider. Some things of note is you have to load your own bar, and also don't forget clips on the bar every single time you lift as well, okay? You don't want to be having to get no reps or going back on your video and not being allowed because of something silly like that, okay?
So the first part of the workout is largely just going to be based on your gymnastics capacity, okay? The barbell movement, the thrusters and the front squats are quite low skill, and also it's not a hugely challenging weight for a lot of people. So what we're going to be looking at is the gymnastics, and in particularly the bar muscle ups, right? So what we're going to advise is that if you don't have 50 plus toes to bar / chest to bar as a big unbroken set, you're going to have to start thinking of a way how you're strategically going to be breaking up your toes to bar and your chest to bar so that you're in the best possible position for your bar muscle ups.
Yeah, exactly. You really don't want to go to failure. So if you've maybe got 35 toes to bar, right, you don't want to go into that first set already with a little bit of grip fatigue from those front squats maybe and barely hit a 30 toes to bar, because that 1 minute rest really isn't going to be long enough for you to recover to then go back into the chest to bar, to then do the same again, go to near to failure, to not be able to recover, to then go into the most challenging one of our bar muscle ups. Okay, so because the skill gets harder, you've got to really not get sort of carried away with trying to push hard in those early rounds. Okay, those toes to bar might start feeling easy, but once you've got through 30 of them and then 30 chest to bar and then the barbell movements, you're really going to be feeling it in your grip.
Okay, so when we're considering breaking up our bar muscles, things like that, it's obviously the very clear separator in this workout. You can race with some of the best in the world on the first 2 bits, and then you get onto the bar muscle ups and they've recovered really well and you're now toast, right? So you've got to bear in mind that Scott Pancic, when he did the workout, he went out of a 14, but he was finishing with 6s and 4s, right? Which isn't particularly big sets at all. Yeah. So you've got to think about being conservative from the start and breaking it up with very short rest and basically being methodical, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a place where you come down and you're just like, I don't know when I can jump back up again, right?
Now, if maybe you aren't very good at bar muscle ups at all, maybe you only have 1 or 2, or you're really going to struggle to get to 30, maybe you've never done that volume at all, the whole workout is basically going to be made for you at this part, okay? You're going to get there maybe in okay time, you're going to have a lot of time to chip away at those 30s. So same again, don't go to that point of failure. You don't want to start missing any muscle ups. Just get, even if it means singles, a little bit of rest, a single, a little bit of rest, try and just be methodical with it there, okay? If you don't have a bar muscle up, then of course you can have a little bit of fun with it and really spend probably upwards of sort of 9 minutes on that part of the workout, just trying to get a bar muscle up, okay? So it's a great time. Open's always fun for that, trying to get that first rep of something. So have fun if you are in that place. Finally, on that first part of the workout, guys, okay, your grip is obviously going to be the limiter, okay? Your legs may be a little bit tired if that sort of 43 kilo bar is a little heavy for you, but mainly it's going to be all made in the reps of our gymnastics, okay? So we want to make sure we warm up that grip really thoroughly, okay? And then we're going to talk about a few tips we can also do to sort of try and save that grip a little bit later on, but main one on the first part of that workout is going to be potentially changing your grip on the barbell, okay? You saw Spencer change to that sort of bodybuilding style front squat because it just gives your grip that little bit of a rest, okay, before those bar muscle ups. So maybe that's something to consider if you're still trying to get through this workout quickly, but you need that little bit of rest in there, okay?
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about 21.4, okay? So it's going to be 7 minutes from the moment that you finish. It's going to be a complex of 1 deadlift, 1 clean that's touch and go, 1 hang clean, and then a jerk to finish, okay? Now, by no means should you really have any consideration for this when completing your first part, right? It's 2 separate scores, and whenever you think too far ahead, you're going to end up just going too slow on the first bit, try and conserve your energy for the second. The test is lifting under fatigue, right? And that's what we're going to do. So, Adzi, do you want to take it away with how we want to start that part of the workout?
So then guys, we get from 21.3 straight into 21.4, okay? And that's quite important that you really want to move quickly from the end of that first workout. No, like to be expected, you're going to be very, very tired and very, very fatigued. Try and avoid the urge to sort of lie on the floor and take a breather for a minute and a half. You need to sort of try and shake out those arms, shake out those legs, and then go straight to that barbell and start unloading the bar, okay? Just take the clips off and chuck on a little bit of weight to get a first lift in as quick as you can. Now this first lift does not have to be heavy at all. Say if you're a guy and you're maybe trying to open at 100 kilos for that first opener, this could be as light as sort of 60, 70 kilos. Just do a clean and jerk, okay? Like you saw some of the guys do in the open announcement. You want to just get the body sort of primed for a heavier barbell, getting underneath it and also going overhead in a jerk, okay? So get that first lift in as quick as you can.
So in that 7-minute time window, we're going to be looking at getting a maximum of around 4 lifts, okay? So it's going to be basically getting your first one in, that's going to be just flushing the system, refocusing on a new task. Then you're going to be hitting what is going to be like an opener. Then you've got to hit a competitive weight, and then your final lift of the 4 is going to be what is going to be like your, almost like your Hail Mary, like if it's a really good day and everything goes really well, you're going to hit this number, okay? Now, when we're looking at trying to set our goal for what weights we want to hit, we're not really thinking about our max clean and jerk here at all. I want you to take that complex, think on a completely fresh day, what can you hit in that complex, right? And then use that to then set your expectations. Another thing to consider as well is what are going to be your weakest lifts. Is it going to be the clean portion? Is it going to be the jerk? If it is the jerk, you need to realize that when you get there, that's going to be what's challenged, and you also need to consider that when selecting your weights, basically. I think it's very easy when you see max out come up to get overzealous and then just be like, I'm just going to plan to hit as close to my 1 rep max as possible.
A lot of them happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. And it not really happened. The pancake guys that you saw do it, like all really strong athletes, yeah. And they weren't really hitting that like weights that you'd find that impressive, really. And I think that's because of the combination of the workout and the complex.
And the time as well. It's very time demanding, only having those 7 minutes to try and recover and go after it, that's for sure. Definitely. So the final thing we're going to talk about is a few little tips, guys, we can use. Okay, the first one is a very good one for those of us using kilos, the correct way to do weights in Europe, is use very, very small increments and try and work out, maybe have a little list written down next to you of the pound conversion for your weights, okay? So because your score is based on the whole worldwide score, in America and anywhere who use pound plates, you're gonna have people hitting very standard 185s, 225s, okay? So you need to work out what that conversion is into kilos and then take a 1 or 2 kilo jump to make sure you pip potentially thousands of people by hitting just 1 kilo heavier, okay? So good example would be 225. 225 pounds is 102 kilos in clean jerk. So if you go 103, so 103 kilos, you're automatically gonna beat all of those people that hit a 225, okay? Maybe it's their max lift, okay? So take that into consideration, get yourself a hold of some really light plates and be strategical with your lifts. Even if you think 100 kilos is gonna be the best I can hit this, that's my Hail Mary lift, put on 101, okay? Just for the chance you get that little 1 kilo increment and you pip a lot of people.
Okay guys, and finally what we've got is going to be grip savers, okay? The first one is going to be thumb tape, okay? When we're looking at hook gripping on our complex after, having that thumb tape there is going to add a little bit more traction, especially with chalk on it, and also it's going to stop you basically from destroying your thumbs pretty much when coming down that hang clean. Then what I'm going to suggest is if you've got the mobility to basically keep your front rack in, keep your hook grip in when you're front racking, do your first clean, keep the hook grip in, so then when you come down for the hang clean, you don't need to worry about popping and re-gripping or potentially having to like fiddle around and re-grip with the weight down at your waist. The final one is going to be about hand movement on the bar when we're doing our gymnastics. Toes to bar as a movement, you don't particularly need to move your hands around very much. You can just keep them stuck in one place, right? I do see a lot of people who kind of try and re-grip, and basically that's just going to tax the forearms, tax your grip a lot more than it needs to. Get your grip stuck to the bar, stay there, right? On the chest of the bar, it's a little bit more unavoidable because there's just so much more movement and force going through your hands on that, basically. But there's our grip tips.
Yeah. Exciting workout, it's going to be really, really fun. And then also make sure you get a nice big thorough warm up in as well. Guys, if you are on any of our programs or coached by us, we will have a nice full written out warm up in your True Coach, okay, for you. Top times, what are you reckoning? Scott Panjek, 7:57.
God, I just really think
that's 5:57 with the rest, without the rest in there. So that's like quick.
I just
30 bar muscle ups.
What, as in it took him 5:57 to do the work?
Yes, to do
Yeah,
the work.
wow.
5:57.
Wow.
I reckon you'll see maybe people get close to 7, but I don't
Yeah,
think you'll see
I
anyone
don't-
under
I don't
7.
think sub
Girls, I think will get. Girls probably be a little bit slower on this workout than guys
Sub
will be.
7:30,
Yeah, but yeah, probably a little bit slower. And then top lifts, can't wait to see clock of 200 kilos.
I'm really unsure about the lifts, you know, because Panchek, like, I don't know, Panchek's probably got like a 160 clean jerk, maybe a little bit more than
170
that,
clean, that's for sure.
right? Yeah, so I'm really unsure about that, to be honest. What's the rest of the words?
Dunno.
If I could find a way.
Nice.
Oh, do you, Eddie?
Yeah.